In terms of the fringe players that Arsenal got, like Emile Smith Rowe, players like that, Fabio Vieira, they don't seem to be getting much of a look, and obviously Vieira's been suspended, but Emile Smith Rowe only got 2 minutes yesterday. He must be feeling frustrated. What do you think's happening with him?
Well, it's difficult because very rarely you get Martinelli injured. I know he's had a spell out this season, but Trossard come in. Yeah. He's got Trossard in front of him as well. Then Odegaard doesn't get injured too often. I mean, he had that tiny spell out. Saka doesn't get injured, as we've seen.
Yeah, never.
So it's really hard to get him in front of those guys. You know, they're first choice, and you're just hoping, in a selfish way, really, as a player, that one of those guys get injured and you get an opportunity.
Get a chance, yeah.
But you need big squads. You need players there. But it's down to the players again. Smith Rowe might come to a stage in his career says, "Look, I need to play. I need to play on a regular basis now. I'm getting that little bit older. I'm going to regret it if I don't play on a regular basis." So, and I think Mikel Arteta's been there as a footballer himself. He probably won't stand in his way, and then Arsenal will try and do a deal and get the most money they can for him. But it's frustrating for players. It really is, sitting on that sideline, not playing on a regular basis. But this day and age, you need 26 in the squad because the games come thick and fast, and they'll probably be used in certain games and maybe come off the bench, but you're really relying on injuries to get a chance.
And that's it. That's the problem with going out of the cups so early. I suppose they can't really just chuck him in a Premier League game and hope that he's going to be up to speed.
Well, again, you've got to put your strong team against Liverpool.
Yeah, 100%.
Especially coming off 2 defeats, so I can see what Mikel's trying to do to get the confidence back into the team.
Sure.
If you're playing against a League One side or even Championship, you could probably rest probably half your team and put the fringe players in and still get away with it. But you can't do that against Liverpool. I don't think the fans would let you do that anyway as an Arsenal supporter. I certainly wouldn't want Mikel to put a half team out against a team like Liverpool.
Speaking of looking back, it's 20 years since the Invincibles that you were a part of, that incredible team. Do you think Mikel Arteta could benefit from a word of advice from Arsene Wenger in any asset?
Well, I'm sure there's a little bit of Arsene Wenger in Mikel Arteta. I'm sure there's a little bit of Pep Guardiola. You can see, certain attributes in. But Wenger's. I'm so pleased he's back at the club now. I mean, he had that spell when he wasn't coming to the club. I was at his statue unveiling, which was really good to see him again, and he was in great form. He's such a nice man, and he wants the best for Arsenal Football Club. So I'm sure Mikel, if he wanted to have a chat with, and Arsene Wenger won't win Mikel Arteta. It's down to Mikel Arteta to say, definitely, because he's not that sort of man, Arsene Wenger. But if Mikel phoned him up, he'll help him as much as he could. Yeah. He's always been like that, a little bit probably like Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United. But yeah, I mean, Mikel is his own man. You've got to be ruthless in this job. You know what's at stake. You know that if you don't do the job, you won't be there. Every manager in the Premier League is in that situation, and you've got to get on with it. But I'm sure he's learned a little bit off Arsene Wenger over the years. And I remember speaking to Arsene, he said he was very inquisitive as a player, always asking questions.
Kind of had an idea it was going to be a coach.
So you could see he was going to go down that route when he finished his career.
Going back to that era a little bit more, Thierry Henry, obviously a player you played with and know probably pretty well. I saw a clip of an interview with him earlier today. He was saying about how, during his time at Arsenal and during his career in general, he was so driven and so focused. He was almost like depressed in some kind of way. Did he ever seem that way to you?
I sat next to him for 5 years. We always had a bit of fun.
Because he used to kind of score a goal and not celebrate.
I don't know what it was like when I left, because it was a little bit more humour when I was there with Ian Wright and he was the back of it. Thierry didn't really play with Ian Wright, but obviously Patrick Digg and a few others. But I think the British guys really helped foreign guys all fit in together, and we always made sure we're all together. But Thierry, as he got bigger and bigger as a player, sometimes people can get too big for the club. Yeah. Maybe that was where Thierry was, but he was always his ability he had, and what he did with a ball was unbelievable. I mean, the pace. He was just an athlete as well with it. He could finisher, but an athlete as well. And he used to love peeling out onto the left-hand side. But the first 6 or 7 games, he struggled a bit. He couldn't. We lost Anelka, who was unbelievable one season. We thought, well, Thierry's come in, and we're going to struggle here because he's not as at that stage he wasn't as good as Nicolas Anelka. But once he got his first goal, he didn't look back. He got a lot of confidence, and to beat Ian Wright's record was amazing. I mean, beat by 50 goals as well.
Yeah, smashed it.
Has some going, because Wrighty, I thought that's going to be hard to beat his goal scoring record.
In terms of the league this season, then I think you were saying there you think Man City, the bookies got it right, Man City. But where do you see Arsenal finishing then? They push them all the way like they did last year.
It's going to be tight. I mean, look, there's a long way to go. It's not like there's 4 or 5 games left, and they've really come into a bad spell. As I said before, this break could help them. It's all about the next 3 games now. They've got to win every game, and hopefully Man City and Liverpool drop points. But you've got to believe in yourself. You've got to believe that you can still do it. I know it's going to be difficult because Man City have been there and done it on many occasions, and they've got some big players coming back. De Bruyne is obviously the biggest player for them in midfield. But you just got to go out there and do your best you can every week. I mean, no fear. Well, our teams have never played any fear. Go out there and get on with it. You're going to have bad games, but it's all about how you get a result out of a bad game. And that's why the Invincibles was a special year, because we didn't play well in certain games, but we managed to get a draw out of nothing. And that's how they've got to think about that. And there's still a long way to go. I'll put Man City as big favourites, Liverpool second favourites. But I know Aston Villa are up there as well, but I do put Arsenal's third favourite still, and it's just, if you're in that hunt the last 6 games, that's when the pressure kicks in a little bit more, and you just got to have a good finish to the season.
It's going to have to build a confidence back.
We was 12 points behind in '98, 13 points behind.
That's right, with all the games in hand.
But again, it was a little bit more, it was only Arsenal, Man United who could probably win it in that era. But now obviously you've got Liverpool, you've got City, you've got Aston Villa going really well. There's a few more clubs who can maybe win it this season. But you just got to go on that winning run. I think we've won 10 in a row. Put us, and we had games in hand in the end. We had 2 games in hand at the end of the season, and we already won the league. So it can be done, but you just got to believe in yourself. And hopefully this squad and this little break they have, they can all get together and go again.
Galvanise themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes a break can come at a good stage.
Yeah, it probably has come at a good stage.
Some clubs it comes at a bad stage because you might be in good form, then you've got that 2 week off, and you don't want that 2 weeks off.